But bing. Yo.
Yo.
3, 2, 1, and you're like.
Yo, it's the kid. Look, man, we're always on time. Look, we're always on time. We're never late, we're always on time. So, guys, chill. Anybody who calls me double L on the flipping live show, you're a loser. And speaking of losers, that moron, that break called Hamza, if you're brave enough, call back again. And don't run away like a cow. You can't just say something and then drop the phone. Have a conversation so then I can then take the piss out of you. So, before we get there, we've got a lovely panel of guests here, man.
Guests?
Oh, no, so sorry. What the hell am I saying? My brothers, my kin, brothers from another mothers, man. It's your boy D to the E to the E to the F to the O.
to the V to the O.
Devil and Mr. Nix.
Back from my sabbatical.
Oh, yeah.
Over at Carnival.
How are you feeling?
How do you feel?
Listen,
Did you get any?
I'm ready to go. Ready for the season ahead.
Any mistresses? Did you bag any mistresses? Look, monogamy is overrated.
We'll speak off camera.
Look, man, monogamy is overrated, man. So, I have a Twitter poll has been created on the on my Half-Full Twitter page. So just go to the Half-Full Twitter page. It's about who is better, Mane or Salah, or neither. So vote there, and then it's I've done it for 30 minutes. Okay, I remember.
Yes,
Okay, so yeah, thank you. And then so once we're done, we'll then give out the results and talk more about that. Discord. So you should see that in the description box below. Join our Discord. The link is in the description box below. We'll try and be there and interact with you guys. And also in the description box, you can phone us. The number is there. I don't know it's off head, so look, I'm sorry, I'm not Einstein. So look at the description box below. Read, 023, all that number like EM equals MC squared, and then call me. If you diss me, be warned, man. So, no headline jokes.
Yeah, shout out Hamza, man. Shout out.
No. Shout it down. Shout it in, man.
Hamza, if you're watching this, contact me somehow.
Yeah, screw you, man. Hamza, my ass, bloody Lamza. So, it's time for us to get into our show. So, I think before we really get into the meat and bones, let's deal with some breaking news. So, just to react to some breaking news. I woke up. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the hell? Wanda and Icardi are divorced now. They're still together. Icardi flew in a private jet to Paris. We saw footage of Wanda flying in, and Icardi is joining PSG on a 1-year loan deal. He has signed a contract extension with Inter Milan, so that Inter Milan don't lose him for any money. So, just very quickly, this is breaking news. Good deal, bad deal. Do you think it can work for Icardi at PSG? Do you think this can relieve his career? Do you think he will bring more drama to Paris? Do you think this was PSG? Do you think some kind of issues will arise between Cavani and Icardi?
It's a strange deal for me. It doesn't make much sense. Yeah, it's strange. I know Cavani's injured, but I don't think it's a long-term injury, is it? You got Neymar coming back, he's staying. You got Mbappe. I wouldn't necessarily put Icardi in front of any one of those three.
Oh,
I wouldn't.
How many times has Cavani messed up in Champions League?
I get you that, but look at Cavani's goal scoring record in France. It's ridiculous.
No, not France.
So what? They brought him in just to play.
Go.
They just brought him in to play in the Champions League. Is that it?
Yes.
Well, for
me, it's strange. It's a strange deal for PSG.
I don't think it's that strange because Cavani's getting older as well. Now I know he's a bit of a tank, so he's his physicality is not really an issue. But the fact that he's injured now, I'm not sure exactly what the injury is.
I don't think it's long term.
But we'll see how when he comes back. But you need another option. They've been relying on
competition.
Neymar, Mbappe, Cavani because Di Maria ain't really cut it.
No,
really,
well, he scored quite a lot of goals last season.
in Ligue 1. Yeah, but everyone scores goals in Ligue 1.
Yeah. So you think Icardi's going to give them Champions
League? Well, it gives them another option. It gives them something else. Because last season, for example, they got knocked out to Man United, and we were poor last season. Mbappe, obviously Neymar was out, Cavani was out, and Mbappe had to hold the fort because they ain't got no other options.
Yeah.
Triple Moting's the other option.
Yeah. Who missed
He's scoring goals. He's scoring goals.
No. You miss even sort of one goal, you're a brick for life, man.
No. To be fair, I think Paris Saint-Germain, the issue isn't up front. The issue is the rest of the team, the rest of the squad.
I think it's mentality more than anything.
No.
But they're signing players from Stoke who were relegated. They signed Sergio Rico from Fulham, who got relegated. Not from Fulham, he signed from Sevilla, but he was at Fulham.
Quality keeper. Rico is a very good keeper.
He's not that good a goalkeeper. Not if you want to win the Champions League.
Okay, but
that's why they bought a Champions League winning keeper, isn't it?
Kylian Navas. So Kylian Navas
him as well, yeah.
So again, so brief about Kylian Navas. My thing about this is that Zidane made a bad decision here. The key thing here is this. On paper, Courtois is a better keeper than Keylor Navas. But football is more complicated about he's just better ability-wise. I think Keylor Navas is loved by the team. He has respect for the team. And you don't ever want to lose that dressing room rapport. And this whole thing of a winning mentality, as in he knows what it means to come clutch in Champions League semi-final games, key games, making so many key saves. Like there's actually a showreel of one of the, I think it was the Bayern Munich game that they played where Real Madrid had to suffer and he made some key saves. So two things. Do you think Zidane messed up selling Keylor Navas, or it's cool because they have Courtois? And how much do you think that he can sort of help elevate PSG by making clutch saves in key moments that PSG will be in the Champions League?
I think personally, it's a move that Keylor Navas needed because you might argue that he's too good to be second choice. Courtois was brought in to be first choice. We know it's not working out as it stands. Of course, there's still time for him to kind of recover his Real Madrid career, but I think there's an element, as you said, there's respect from the dressing room, there's respect from the fans, and there's probably respect from Zidane himself, similar to that Abramovich had for someone like Petr Cech. It's like, why would you sell Cech to Arsenal? Which a lot of people said, but if the player who you respect so much, who's given so much, says, I need to go, I need to play first in football, sometimes the person has to come before, the maths. Is it worth it financially? Are we getting the right deal? Can we use him if Courtois gets injured? Think about the person sometimes. I think this is what this spells more than anything. He wants to play first team football, and PSG can offer him that.
And also, Areola's gone the other way. So they have got a backup goalkeeper. He's gone as a season-long loan from Paris Saint-Germain to Real Madrid. So Real Madrid still got that backup goalkeeper.
But Areola ain't no Navas though. So.
He's not Navas, but he's a promising goalkeeper.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
They'll probably go ahead and sign him.
On the case of goalkeepers, because you say they might go on to sign him, they could go in for David De Gea again. Now I say that because David De Gea,
they are in the same dude.
It doesn't matter because Courtois is not any dude. So
whoa!
No,
in 2019, Courtois is better than David De Gea.
No, he's not.
Live chat, please, people in the live chat. As of right now in 2019, who is better, Courtois or David?
When's the last time Courtois kept the clean sheet?
David De Gea make another blunder?
Doesn't Courtois make blunders all the time?
Live chat in 2019 as of right now, who is better?
But this isn't about elevating De Gea. I'm more saying that Courtois has been very, very poor since he's gone to Real Madrid. That's a fact.
True.
But the point is, David De Gea hasn't yet signed his contract. The contract's on the table. It was verbally agreed when he was on tour before the season, but he didn't get to sign it. We heard that PSG will be looking to go. We're looking to go in for him in January, but if they're happy with Navas, Real Madrid, depending on what happens in the next 6 months, they may go back in.
Okay. All right. So let's now get to the meats and bones. So lots of stuff happened over the weekend, but again, perhaps the biggest game was the North London derby. 2-2. Now I've got a few things here, and I think I had a few revelations that I saw after seeing this game, and maybe I want to hear your thoughts on this. So, in Tottenham's point of view, I think what I've realized, and I think people have been saying this, but I think it just got crystallized for me in this game. I don't think Pochettino has an offensive attacking plan. I think Tottenham have been winning games based on individual brilliance. He doesn't actually train any kinds of strategies moving forward. And I just saw in the game, especially in the second half, I was like, what to say? These guys don't have a club how to beat the press. They're just relying on Eriksen to make an amazing pass, Son to do something individually, and Kane just to be in the right moment. Because I would just say, wait, you guys just look clueless in this second half. And from Arsenal's point of view, Emery, just pick your lineup. It's like he has literally been holding a very good Arsenal team back by not maintaining a lineup. See, I sort of got what he tried to do last season. I keep everyone on their toes, and it works when they went on that winning run. But my thing is, there is something to be said when you know what role you're playing. So, boom, 10 games, I know what role I'm playing. Aubameyang is on the wide, he's the middle. On the one on the middle. And that just messes with your flow. It's like Xhaka shouldn't sniff the team boss.
Let alone the captain's armband.
Because
that
Devil,
means nothing.
I thought Ashley Young was taking L's, but sorry.
But
That
basically,
armband means
basically
nothing.
no, Xhaka's because Ceballos should be. It's basically Real Madrid should feel very happy. Real Madrid dare not sell Ceballos to Thingy because This is great for Real Madrid because because the system that Arsenal plays is very similar to Real Madrid. So after this season, Real Madrid will have a quality midfielder coming back for them. So I just think that's for Emery, and I maybe speak to these guys like, why doesn't he pick a consistent lineup where everyone knows? Because I think he's confusing the players and he's taking away consistency of wins. So
yeah, I think the midfield, because I was very confident ahead of this North London derby. It's been a while since I've been that confident.
You were talking about slapping up Spurs.
I was very confident. And then I saw the lineup and I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, my attitude changed completely. Like, oh boy, because that midfield had no creativity. We got probably the best attacking lineup we've had for a long time in Pepe, Aubameyang and Lacazette. And there's no one feeding them. So you brought these guys into the restaurant and closed the kitchen. So they're sitting there. You know what I mean? You have Xhaka, Guendouzi, who was brilliant.
Quality, second half quality.
And Torreira. There's not much. There's not much creativity in those three. So my thought is we're gonna have these three isolated unless they do something individually that's brilliant, like what Lacazette did in the first half. Because he shouldn't have scored from there. The 2 touches to control it, take across the defender. That's a brilliant goal. We needed Ceballos on the pitch or Ozil on the pitch. I know Ozil gets a lot of flack, but I think if he has 2 people behind him, as in Torreira and Guendouzi, I would have went with. Ozil gets a little bit of space. He could find Aubameyang, Pepe, or Lacazette.
Emery loves Xhaka. Same way that Wenger loves Xhaka.
Yeah, because there's something there. There is something there in him, but I just don't think it works in the Premier League. I don't think it works in the Premier League. I think he needs too much time on the ball. He's not quick enough mentally. When he gets the ball, he's not quick enough to do something, just pop it off. He wants to take a bit longer. And his long-range passing is good, we know that. But defensively, he's all over the place. He's all over the place defensively. He makes reckless challenges, as he did against Tottenham again. And he just puts us under pressure. We don't need it. We don't need it.
So if I saw that in Sunday League, I would have a go at that player.
Yeah.
You dive in, the player's not taking a shot.
Stupidity.
In your box. Nah, that was.
It's not the first time either.
That's not.
And also stupidity.
But can I say on Poch, I think people get onto Poch a lot. I disagree about he doesn't have an
Attacking plan or whatever the statement you made. For
doesn't.
me, their plan on the day was very clear. Go down Arsenal's right hand side.
Yeah.
Ainsley, Maitland-Niles, and was that Luis on the right?
Yeah. I think Luis plays on the right and Socrates
on the left. Yeah, so for me it was clear, target Arsenal's right hand side. And obviously the penalty came from that side. There was a shot that Son had that came from a break on that side. And time again you saw them trying to play. It was more direct than say Arsenal, but a direct ball down the left hand channel. A lot of times it got cut out. Maitland-Niles had a decent game. But I think that was clear, they had a plan. And it was time, because Arsenal, I mean, you say they can't beat the press or they don't have a plan to beat the press. Spurs midfield had space in the middle. It wasn't a game where they were just pen back. They had chances to score more than the 2 that they scored, even in the second half. Kane hit the post, Sissoko got into attacking positions more than one time. So I think it's a bit...
Sissoko can't finish.
You have to give Arsenal credit for how they recover from 2-0, more so than criticising Poch for not having this attacking plan that you speak about. I don't know. I don't agree with that.
I do think Poch relies a lot on individual brilliance. I do think. I mean, if Eriksen's out of the team, they just don't seem to have a fluidity at all.
But you argue that the players aren't great, because when Eriksen's not there, which player would you say can do the job that you're asking Eriksen to do? If Wolves take out Neves and Moutinho, we saw Moutinho even on the weekend. When he came on, he makes a massive difference to the team. If you take that person out...
Well, no, but I think a manager should still be able to have somewhat of a game plan. If a main creative playmaker isn't there, like there should still be I don't see a strong attacking ethos or philosophy to the team. And the key thing is that if you did have an attacking philosophy, there will be other players, maybe not as good as Eriksen, but like Eriksen in the ilk. Because, for Emery, that is what he's building. Because Emery is like, I am building guys that's at least 2, 3, 4 guys who have a philosophy within my midfield who can play. How do you have a team where Eriksen... For about 3, 4 years, Eriksen is literally the only playmaker you have in your entire team.
Yeah, but that's more to do with Levy than it is to do with Poch. Exactly. Poch wants to spend, trust me. Poch wants to spend, and he was frustrated come the end of this transfer window. And I think this could be his last year.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Okay, so
Hopefully because Man United, like you said.
Yeah, do it. I don't care.
Alright, so let's move on now, and you're now in the hot seat now. The English Mbappe, aka Rashford. Now,
We need to cut that nickname.
look,
That's disrespectful.
Terry, man. Look, Terry become the nigga. So Terry, shout out Terry, man. So my thing is that Rashford isn't crap. Rashford is a good player. He's a talented player. I blame Solskjaer. And this is why I blame Solskjaer. So how old is Rashford now?
Russia's 21.
21. You've put a target on Rashford's back. This is why you put a target on his back. I know that we've insulted Lukaku, said things about him here and there. By letting Lukaku go and now keeping in Rashford, you've now said for Rashford, you're now the main striker. It's all on you. Because people say, oh no, it's Martial as well, that Martial is the main striker. But the way it has been perceived is because he's English and he's come through the academy, there is a bigger spotlight on Rashford than there is on Martial, and there's more pressure on Rashford than Martial. And I think, for Martial, he's fine because Martial is just such a good player. He can deal with whatever pressure comes in. Rashford is still a developing player, and he's nowhere near as good technically overall as Martial is. So I just feel that anytime we have a position like this where Martial is injured and now Rashford now has to be the main striker, is problematic. Because if you have Martial, Lukaku, Rashford, it gives you more leeway and more choice. Martial will get injured. He may get tired, and Rashford has to play. Rashford can't be the lone striker. His skill set is not based for the lone striker. So my thing with this is that, do you still believe that Rashford can still be a top player? Or do you feel that people need to just take stock and say, you know what, Tammy Abraham is much better than Rashford. Rashford wishes that he was.
You're doing so well.
You
You're doing so well.
Can I laugh?
What? No, you can't.
Can I laugh?
No, stay up there. Circle. Before you say that, I just want to say someone here, MN, said that Rashford is the English Gervinho.
Oh, God.
That's so.
All right, listen. First and
And
foremost,
please speak the truth.
I always speak the truth.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that I speak the truth.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm not the one they call double L.
Yeah.
First and foremost, Rashford is 21 years old. We have to remember that. Rashford, you might say, made a rod for his own back, but I think that's the wrong terminology. When he burst onto the scene in the way he did, expectation was high. Is high. Him being English is not his fault. He was born in England. He was born in Manchester, or in Greater Manchester. He now plays for England. You know, he didn't call himself up. The England managers, whoever they were, Roy Hodgson, I believe it was, called him up. Did you want him to turn down that international call up? Of course not. Nobody does, unless you're Claude Makelele at the back end of his career. But that's not his fault. But we know English players, whoever they are, get overhyped. We've seen it. Let's just say but Rooney got hyped, and I agree he got overhyped, but Rooney was world class.
He was.
That's a fact. Was he?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a fact.
No.
But he was also overhyped because he was compared and forced to be compared with the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, when he was never as good as those people, just because he was in the age bracket and he was a top player at the time. We've seen Jack Wilshere. Anytime an English player does something that is a bit different to the other English players, they get that hype immediately. That's not Rashford's fault. Rashford never came out and said, I am the English Mbappe. He never made a banner saying he is, the black Maradona. He never said any of these things. He's just trying to play his football. He's 21 years old. In terms of Solskjaer being at fault, I disagree because this pressure that Rashford's been under or been applied to him existed before Solskjaer. Yes.
Also now.
No. Wait a second.
Lukaku,
yes.
Let's be real.
Yes. It was shouldered a bit by Jose Mourinho because everyone said he was playing him out of position. Solskjaer then came in, played him up front, through the middle, and he went on that. With our first 14 games, he scored like 11 goals, or scored 11 games in that period. Got a goal and assist for about 3 months from the beginning of December right through to the PSG game. and everyone said, this is where Rashford should be playing, Jose this, Jose that. And as soon as it doesn't work, then the target moves. Jose's not there anymore, so you have to move the target, whether it's Rashford, whether it's Solskjaer, etc. Now, I don't believe, yes, getting rid of Lukaku puts extra pressure on Rashford, and it puts extra pressure on Martial, and anyone else who we expect to score goals. But people are so quick to downplay a player who they might say someone else is better than. That people are saying, well, look, see, Dan James is better than Rashford. But when Rashford played his first 3 games, he had 4, 5, 6 goals. Goals in Manchester derbies, goals in Europa League. So at what point do we just say, you know what, let's just hold back a bit. He's 21 years old. Let him develop. Let's see him find his position. He's played in so many different positions under so many different managers. Let's give them time.
His position is striker.
And in terms of the Tammy Abraham comparison and debate that we've had, but the argument is the same. Let him prove how good he is. That's Tammy Abraham's. Tammy Abraham is a number 9.
Yeah.
Rashford, for me, is not a number 9.
What is he?
Never has been a number 9.
Is he?
He wasn't a number 9 in the unders. He was a number 10.
I bet what's this guy, man?
When he came under LBG, he went up front. Under Jose, he played on the left and on the right throughout Jose's time. And now,
No, he's central player.
but for me, he's not a number 9. Martial is the striker. Martial's job is to be our top goal scorer this season. If you put pressure on Rashford to replace Lukaku as the striker, that's you doing it to yourself, because he's never come out and said that.
Let's be honest though. If you're
He's
playing,
not the number 9.
If you're playing for Man United, you have pressure on you anyway.
100%.
If you are replacing Lukaku or you're just playing alongside him, there's massive. If he can't handle that pressure,
But he can. But he's proved that he can. One of our most important goals, granted it was a penalty, was that penalty in the 96th minute against PSG. That is pressure. Goals in Manchester derbies. That's pressure. Goals in Northwest derbies against Liverpool.
No.
That's pressure.
No, but his acid test is definitely going to be this season, because
I would agree.
it's like there are more eyeballs on him right now. But just very briefly, okay, what is his role? You said that he's not a number 9.
What's his role? For me, Solskjaer wants to play with a flexible front 3. So he is going to be a part of that. For me, his inside forward I would say is his best position. Inside forward from the left. Inside forward from the left is for me his best position.
I think he's better centrally, personally, but obviously you watch more than
he doesn't hold up the ball well.
He's always looked better for me centrally.
But he doesn't hold the ball. If you play a 4-4-2, for example,
so what is this guy's strongest position? Because you say inside forward.
But that's where he's, for me, that's where his ability is, because he's a good dribbler. He's got a good shot on him.
Apart from when he's taking free kicks.
Well, yeah. But one-on-one, I don't think he's great. And if you're playing as a central striker, your one-on-one has to arguably be your best attribute. And it's not. Martial is much better finishing one-on-one. Solskjaer even said Green was the most natural finisher out of all of them. So when Martial got injured, I was like, Greenwood has to go up front. And Rashford carry on doing how he played against Chelsea. When he scored the 2 goals against Liverpool a few years ago when he destroyed Trent, it was from the left. When he was playing against Chelsea the other day when he won the penalty, it was from the left-hand side. Not as a left winger, but as a forward coming in from the left-hand side.
Okay, all right. So let's now right into our main discussion of the topic. And I know that people say, oh, you've talked about this more, blah, blah. Screw you. We're going to talk about it again, because we have an expert panelists over here, not you dudes on the flipping hangouts. But you dudes on the hangouts are a bit psycho. But we're all strangers on the hangouts. But look, man, so we talked about this on the hangout, and we had a lot of nice experts' opinions on it, and it was a very interesting discussion. This whole Mane, Salah thing right now. So my thing is that, like, Mane reacted. And it was the first time that we actually saw a visible reaction from Mane when he didn't feel that Salah gave him the ball. Now, since then, people have put the plates down, like Milner put out a little tweet just from mock everything and just say it's amicable. But this is a very complex scenario, because you have to have been in a football team to really understand the complexities of this, because on the face of it, Salah, pass the ball. If a guy is free, pass. But this is an unwritten rule in football. If you're playing in a team and a guy is a top scorer in that team, he should not pass to you. He shoots on sight. even if you say to him that, look, man, why didn't you pass the ball? He just says, yo, how many goals do I have? How many goals do you have?
Wait.
I'm like,
wait.
all right, cool.
Didn't Mane have the golden boot with him last season?
No, but see, this is where I'm getting to. So, from Salah's point of view, it's like, past 2 seasons, obviously, I am known as the main goal scorer. And that's why, at the end of season before last, Mane couldn't say anything. But where you have to now add one stuff to the last season, they both had the same number of goals. And Mane had the same number of goals as Salah without penalties. So from Mane's point of view, it's like, no, we no longer have to rely on you as a goal scorer, which is great for the team. Because now the goals are now shared, and now Mane is now bringing in a greater goal scoring efficiency to his team. So from my point of view is, where do you stand on this thing? So like, if your club, is it a case of where, look, Mane, Salah is our main goal scorer. This is what it is. If I want him to shoot on sight, because even if he may miss a lot, he will still be able to get all those goals that will help us get close to Man City and winning a trophy. Or do you say to Salah, look, let us share the wealth around. Mane is now becoming almost as prolific a goal scorer as you. We need to pass the ball more. So, and do you think that by doing that, you're not taking away from Salah's game, which could be very important to making Liverpool if effective? Because look, I mean, it's
at the end of the day, it's about making the right decision. I don't care if you're top goal scorer or if you're a left back and you ain't scored a goal in your life. Those 2 chances, because it's not just Mane, it's Firmino as well, and that one's possibly even worse.
Oh yeah.
You know, on his right foot. He could have played Firmino clean through and goal. He didn't pass it. A few minutes later, could have played it into Mane, turned back onto his right foot to take the shot. For me, that's selfish. I don't care if you're Alan Shearer, if you're Ronaldo, whoever you are, you play the ball to your teammate. Let's say that at the end of the season, it comes down to goal difference, and Man City beat them by 2 clear goals. Those 2 chances they could have passed his teammates. It doesn't matter if it's Mane on the end of it or it's Milner or it's Henderson. You play the ball in and then you let them miss the chance and go, well, boy, I should have taken the shot myself. But, do you know what I mean? You're a team player. For me, and I think what a lot of people aren't picking up on this is why Mane was so vexed. It's because he's like, why are you taking me off? He's the one who's mashing up all of our chances. I had 1 chance, I scored. You know what I mean? This man's messed up 3-4 chances. He's still on the pitch. Why are you taking me off for? I think that's why Mane was vexed. And I think he had every right to be vexed because, as I said, it wasn't just him. It was the Firmino one before, and Mane saw that. It's like past the.
But you know the funny thing about the goal that Firmino scored. You know that goes down as a Salah assist.
He wasn't trying to pass that.
Salah was not trying to pass that ball at all because you actually saw Salah go, oh gosh, I lost. He's got it. Okay, cool.
And you know what? This is where, and the thing is for me is that for a long time people were saying Ronaldo doesn't care about the team because when he weren't scoring, he was like, Salah's doing the same thing. No one's saying it.
So he knows, like, which is why because I've just been watching the games very closely. The way in which he's going for shots is a lot more than he's been doing in previous seasons. Where literally, every time he sees even if by shot, he will still shoot. So I think in his mind is like, no, I am the goal scorer guy. I will always shoot. So, but my thing about this is, and I think it's a key point that Devil made. If your club, it's about winning the game, and you always have to. It's a balance. Yes, you want to try and make sure that your goal scorer shoots on sight, which is what Cristiano did because he's so good. But Salah, you went to Cristiano. That's the key thing. And at the end of the day, it's about winning the game. And people say, okay, they were up 3-0, but as you said, what if it comes down to goal day difference? And that goal there would have, you never know. But those.
I'm going to completely disagree with everything you just said. Really, 100%. I think people have an issue with Salah. I'm talking about non-Liverpool fans now. They have an issue that Salah proved everyone wrong. Salah came back to the Premier League and it was called a flop, rightly so, when he's, 2 games he played for Chelsea.
Never got given a chance.
Of course he didn't. But that, the agenda greater than facts, as they say. He went to Fiorentina, did his bit. Went to Roma and was very good for 2 years. Came to Liverpool, and
Nobody expected Salah to do what he did. And to some extent,
they're upset that he did what he did. Now, as a Man United fan, I don't want any Liverpool player to succeed. But when I see a man score 30 odd goals in the Premier League season, and I didn't expect him to do that, but I expected him to be successful, because I was like, this guy did bits in Italy. He's not a one-trick pony kind of thing. People are upset. So I think, again, people are looking for a reason to speak ill of Salah. Salah is, for me, Liverpool's best attacking player. The most important is Firmino, for how Klopp wants to play. But as an individual, for me, Salah is their best. Salah has every right to shoot when his team are 2 or 3-0 up, because whilst you might argue that the league could be decided on goal difference, if he didn't take the shot, let's say against Chelsea last season from 35 yards or 30 yards, they don't maybe win that game.
Was anyone else clean through on goal?
But if he went over the bar, people might say, well, the shot was never on anyway.
No, but my point is, if someone's clean through on goal, you play them in.
Yeah, but you mentioned about decisions. Yeah. Someone, if that goal didn't go in, you say, well, it was never the right decision. Why didn't he pass it to the right winger to get a crossing? Because when you're a goal scorer, as you mentioned, and he's not Cristiano Ronaldo, but he's Liverpool's Cristiano Ronaldo. So he's as important to Liverpool for me as Cristiano Ronaldo was for Man United in 2008. Ronaldo had Rooney and he had Tevez. Salah's got Mane, has got Firmino, but he is the main guy. Mane will get his goals. Now, Mane, I know you said obviously he's got the golden boot, so he has a bit of more leverage to speak. But I spotted at the beginning of last season where they played Tottenham early on. I think they won the game, but it was sad they went through 1-on-1 or 2-on-1, and he should have passed it to Mane. He should have. He didn't. Mane was furious.
It's been going on for a while.
Yeah, the pre-season just before the beginning of
last season there was time.
Yeah, the pre-season just before the beginning of last season, Mane started taking penalties in pre-season, and it was like, oh, maybe Mane's going to be a penalty taker. He actually missed in pre-season. After that, it was like, well, if Milner's not on the pitch, it's Salah. Salah's the main man. So I ain't saying just shoot on sight, but when you're 2-3-0 up, and Mane's got his goal, and I think by then Firmino had got his goal, if I was the man in the Klopp, I don't have an issue, because there's a hunger for him to get goals. People call Ronaldo selfish, but his hunger to get goals is why he's won all the leagues and the Champions League.
Also, you got to play the man clean through on goal. No, on goal.
But if it went in, I know it didn't go in, but if it went in,
you put it on his weaker foot.
No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one to Mane, the one to Mane when.
That's the one with Mane. He turned back onto his weak foot and tried to shoot.
Yeah. No, because there were like two guys.
I thought there was two separate incidents.
Yeah, there's two separate incidents.
Yeah, there was one where he should have passed it for Firmino on the right.
Oh no, that was the one. Yeah, the right foot.
Yeah, and there was one where he was kind of coming across, and he could. But for a man like him, I'm not gonna lie, he probably doesn't see Mane. He just sees goal. No, he just sees goal. That's what he does.
Look at Harry Kane in the World Cup. He plays that to Sterling, England in the World Cup final.
Yes, but
you've got to see your teammates.
But equally, if he hadn't a shot XYZ before, they might not qualify for the World Cup. So you have to take the rough with the smooth.
It's about making the right decision. That's what I mean.
But scoring the goal before the ball crossed the line wasn't the right decision. It's only because it went in. You're like, oh, fair enough. He shot from there. I understand.
My thing about this is look. First of all, Nix is not destroying me with facts. Okay, so
is that what people are saying?
Yeah. Okay, so
every week. Can
I get some support on this bloody channel, you losers? But my thing about this is that I get where you're coming from there, but at the end of the day, I looked at that and also I don't hate Salah, because I'm not one of those guys that are like, oh my gosh, Salah was doing so well and I hate it. But I just try and look at it as objectively as possible, because I said again, it is.
Every season you start with a 15 goals max. You don't put a target on Mane. Because people are waiting for Salah. People are waiting for Salah to not hit a target or not do this or not do that. The man is quality. The man is world class.
No. But let's be real though. how many crucial goals does Salah score? Especially during that key run last season, Mane was always the guy that scored that first goal. He was always the guy that scored the first goal. And when it came to crucial moments, Leicester City, West Ham, Salah was nowhere to be
What about
found.
that goal against Tottenham? Was it Salah and scored the one? Remember he jinked in for...
Yes, it was him.
That was Salah.
Where was he against West Ham? Where was he against
Yeah,
Leicester
but
City? Where was he against?
But the thing is,
scored many big goals.
but when Salah does that, what you mentioned, people say flat track bully.
No.
No, but they do. I've seen it.
Whenever he balls,
People
I always like
people
that
say
ball he scored against
flat
Arsenal.
track. Don't forget Arsenal. I'm talking about when he does the West Ham, the flat track bully. The stats show that he is a big game player. He has scored since 2017-18. He has scored 14 goals and assisted 4 in big games in the Premier League and Champions League. Compared to Mane, who has 11 goals and 0 assists. Mane scored 22 goals last year and got 1 assist in the Premier League. So you tell me who's the greedy one. You tell me who's the better one.
Okay.
Because who's Mane passing to?
Okay, no.
1 assist. Okay,
thank you. You've talked. Javan, can we take calls?
We've got a super
I'll
chat.
try in a second.
Yeah. Okay. What's
Super chat.
Yeah. What's the super chat?
Super chat says, if Salah wins the 2000...
What's his name?
Oh, sorry.
What's his name?
Ada J3. ADA J3.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for the super chat. It says, if Salah wins the 2019 African Player of the Year, it's a joke.
Speaking of that, okay, Twitter results. Can we read the results? So, who is better, Mane or Salah? Hashtag football dollar. 5%, song percent for you French speakers out there. Who? That's just for a laugh. 9%, 9%. Neither. 25% for you Southern Americans out there.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I thought he was choking.
Oh, come on, easy. I mean, semi-retired actor. Mohamed Salah. 60%. Sadio Olusegun Obamide Mane. So, thoughts?
I don't know who's voting in it. I trust the viewers who actually watch us live and hear the discussion. And the proof is in the pudding. They're just saying...
No, to be fair, I think...
Sneak. Salah plays well without scoring.
I think it comes down to
Salah never scored
what you
against
prefer.
Spurs.
What you prefer in a
Mane
player.
brings
I think-
Salah is a great
Mane-
goal scorer. Mane is a whole
I think
package.
Mane is a more complete player than what Salah is.
1 assist
But-
all season.
No, but I mean a complete player in terms of...
Don't be a stats merchant.
I'm being one. 1 assist. Sorry, go on there.
I think Salah is a more effective player in his role as in the goal scorer for the team. I think it shows on the last 2 seasons. I think he's more dangerous in terms of when he's dribbling with the ball. I think
He can do more things.
I'm
He
not
can do
saying
more
Salah.
things.
I think Salah is very good dribbling with the ball, but I think Mane is a bit more dangerous, a bit more direct in terms of he'll go either way. Salah is always going to want to come towards the left.
And I ain't comparing him to Robin, but everyone said the same thing. Robin only goes on the left. If you're that good on the left, and Salah is very good on his left.
I'm going to get up and
Robin's
answer
sweet
man.
spot.
I'm going to answer man.
He is getting to that Robin sweet spot.
No, easy. Don't bring
No.
Robin's name out. Robin is that guy. No man, boy. Salah will never ever sniff Robin. He will never come to Robin. Don't
When
even
has
come
Robin
close.
scored 30 odd goals in the season?
Never. Why?
No. Robin completely trademarked a move. Salah is not sniffing Robin.
Casillas got his number.
No
Casillas got
way.
his number.
Never.
Salah might
Never.
copyright the dive.
I've got a question. There's a reason why is it that attackers cost the most in football? Generally, we hear that goal scoring is the hardest part because that's why teams come up from the Championship and they struggle because they ain't got a goal scorer. You can score in the Championship, but you can't score in the Premier League.
It's also when you score as well. Don't stats pack.
No,
score in kicking.
No. The point I'm making is if Salah is their best goal scorer, I think that gives, and he's for me clearly the best goal scorer. Which based on last season, no, it's equal. But let's say the last 2 years, he's their best goal scorer. If he's their best goal scorer, and that's the hardest part, I think that gives a lot of clout to say he's their best or he's better than Mane. Yes, Mane can do X, Y, Z.
Well,
but
saying who's the best player? Who's the better player?
Yes, but I'm saying, but where does
He's the better
playing
goal scorer.
end?
He's the better
Where does
goal
playing end? Do we just take it to the edge of the box? Because if the ball's not going in the back of the net, I don't care what's happening behind that. Mane scored 22 goals last year, but before that, what, 10 goals?
No.
Salah's been getting 14, 15,
But what's
20, 32.
No, but hence
And
why,
assists.
But hence why we have
Salah
to talk
wasn't
about
always-
form.
but Salah wasn't
we have
always
to
a
talk about
forward.
we have to talk about form.
wasn't.
Like
Salah was
overall.
always a forward.
But we have to
look what he
talk
was
about
doing
form.
that.
Has now moved up a level and are now increased his level. So we have to say, as of right now, or last 3 months, or last 6 months, Mane has now improved furthermore to now say, nah, bruh, 22 Gs.
No,
you got 22
you may
Gs.
argue-
They're a lot closer together now.
Yes, I would agree with that.
As I said, I think Mane is a more complete player in terms of he can do more on different parts of the pitch. But Salah is the more effective player in terms of his job is to score goals. And for the last 2 years, he scored a hell of a lot of them.
So, Javan, can we take calls?
Not at the moment, no.
Oh, Lord. So, guys, we can take calls.
You wanted to speak to Hamza?
Yeah, I want to speak to Loser Hamza.
No.
So, guys, look, man, YouTube page, I'm sending you a question or whatever, but we'll keep going.
Barcelona and Madrid, we good.
Yeah.
About the youngster.
Ansu Fati.
Yeah.
So actually, wait. So before we get there, let's start with that then. So 2-2 against Osasuna. Messi is still injured, and you know what? I want to just see how well this Barcelona can, just for an experiment. I just say, Messi. Yeah, I know that you're the goat and everything without taking the World Cup, but how much can this Barcelona guys survive without Messi? Them not getting Neymar was a huge loss. Huge loss. I said to Barca fans, you have to get Neymar. Neymar is a must because Campbell Suarez is declining. Griezmann is quality, he's just not world class. So if you're just relying really upon Griezmann and Messi, a declining Campbell Suarez, and just a young dude, I think it's going to be problematic. But speak of it, 16 years of age, he is the I believe the youngest Barcelona player to score, and I think third youngest in La Liga or something. So because I saw him play against their home game against Real Betis, and I was like, this guy's good. This guy's really good. So could we potentially see another great Barca guy? Because to get into the Barcelona first team at 16 is insane. Wait, Messi
was 17 when he broke through, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What wasn't he 18? Was he 17?
He was 17 when he made his debut.
17?
He came on for
2005, sorry.
Was it Ronaldinho he came
No,
on?
Did he not start? No, he didn't start. He came on.
No, he came on the
He scored that lob.
Oh, he scored on his debut.
I think he scored on his debut, yeah.
He was definitely 17. He was definitely 17.
Oh, okay.
Which, listen, I've seen a lot of talented players come through Barca. Thiago Alcantara
Bojan
didn't make it.
Boyan's a good one.
Like for me,
Didn't make it
Alcantara
at
was a
all.
very good player, but he didn't make it at Barca. He just didn't make it at Barca. He had to move on. I'm not saying he wasn't good enough, but he didn't make it.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. It's a case of like.
That's why he's not there.
Exactly, and he's still playing football. Like, he's in his prime probably right
Clearly
now.
didn't make it.
Rafinha has just gone.
Just gone.
Brick, classic.
No, but I'm saying, but
Easy.
these players we see, and they're like, they're talented. He said Bojan Krejci.
Yeah.
Man ended up at Stoke.
Yeah, and he's just been released from Stoke.
I've seen that, so I'm just gonna take a step back and let the guy, as I said, we said earlier, let him see in it, because he may start today, and when once Messi and Suarez and that, we don't see him again all season, and that's fine. Just because he did it, like you have to let these players develop, innit? Yeah.
But Barcelona is a strange one because they have got rid of Rafinha. He's gone to Celta Vigo. They have got injuries. Rafinha was one of their better players towards the first game of the season against Bilbao. He came on, looked dangerous. Where are they getting players from? Are they going to literally play all of these youngsters or what?
Christian Teller. You remember him?
Christian Tello, yeah, he's a.
Oh yeah,
better
Taylor,
star.
yeah.
But he was just a speed merchant. I never rated him. he was just. Feeling
I mean, because I think I heard the commentators sort of like mention it. I think during the Betis game, I think like Messi's era of La Masia. I think it was him, Iniesta, Busquets, Thiago Alcantara, Fabregas, and that was probably a very successful era. But then the next era was Bojan, Teo, all these guys, which obviously flopped. So really, because for me, I think that the Barcelona academy isn't really that great. They just had that sweet spot. And as the commentator was saying that, look, you ain't gonna get a Xavi or Iniesta anytime. No. That was just very, very, very special. So because I think like Ajax is like a conveyor belt.
Well,
they'll keep producing that.
One could argue that Real Madrid's academy is better, and it's not to get through to Real Madrid, but if you look at how many players came from Real Madrid, their academy, and are playing in La Liga, it's probably higher than what Barca's got. But you said Barca had that little period, and we all lauded it because obviously that's the ideal of football. You build all these players, but consistently.
Alright, so Real Madrid now. Irony.
Long live Gareth Bale.
Yes. Do you know like it is so poetic. It is so poetic written because it's like even as Zidane was just trying to push him out. I just said to the back of my mind like, what if it's a case of where maybe Bale actually truly helps? Because I think Zidane's plan was, and I think his belief was, I'm gonna get Neymar or Pogba. I'm gonna get one of those two. So when I get one of those two, I don't have any space for you. So he was like, oh, we are gonna get these guys. And when that didn't happen, Zidane wanted to save face and be like, look, I can't now go back on my word. Nah, still go. When it's like, you're not getting Neymar or Pogba, you have to use him. Because you just have to use him.
No, it's mad.
And did you see the tweet by Gareth Bale? It's basically like, I think it was an anniversary of when either the anniversary of when he signed or when he scored the critical goal against Barcelona. But I think there was a video of his amazing goal against Barcelona when he ran off of the pitch. And Gareth Bale said, he retweeted that thing and said, man, I love this club. And my thing about this is that Gareth Bale, I respect. See, at first I had a disrespect for Gareth Bale by saying that, look, if you're not wanted, leave. Go play golf. If you're not wanted, leave. Go play golf. You're not wanted. But I think when the fact that he stood his ground, and I think the key thing is that he wants to keep proving himself. And I remember, like, did you watch that show on BT Sports? What shirts did you wear? What jersey did you wear? Like, basically about he said to the guy that he was so pissed off he was left on the bench in the Champions League, and he wanted to prove himself. So people, like, when I discussed with other people, they said that now Bale is done. He's not going to. Because my question is this: do you think Bale could actually have a big season for Real Madrid and actually help them to do
well, I said it.
We said it.
I said it.
Did you didn't say anything?
Remember he said he's going to stay, didn't he?
Where would we see it?
And I said, well, on the
It's on your channel.
Yeah.
I said,
it's deleted. I didn't
remember what I said? I said he is going to be more important for Real Madrid this season than Hazard.
Whoa!
But remember I said that? You don't remember? Everyone else remembers.
What? You can only store so much information in his head at one time. But if Bale stays fit,
that was the thing. If he stays fit,
he will score more goals than Hazard and probably have a better
season than Zach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Listen, the guy is world class. The guy is world. I'm not saying Hazard's not. I mean, he hasn't done it in a Champions League final or anything like that.
He did it in a European Cup final.
A what?
A Europa League, yeah.
European Cup final.
I don't know what that is.
European.
There's only one European Cup, and that's the Champions League.
Final.
When was that? Which one did he play? When was that?
The European Cup final. This
Europa League final.
It's a European.
Oh, the Europa Cup.
It's a European.
The secondary
final.
competition.
It's a European.
I've seen certain man. Ricardo Vazquez scored a Wembley final.
Can you answer this damn question?
In the Championship play.
The fact that he won that award over Giroud.
Oh, it's a disgrace. Disgrace.
No, come on. After what he did in that final, you have to give him the.
No, you don't.
Giroud top goal scorer in the competition. He had like 11 goals.
Zach Ball. Based on although their abuse gave him the award.
Hazard played like a third of all games.
It doesn't matter. It's what he did in that.
No, I don't. Disgrace.
He shocked the world. Karen. Bale.
No, but I just think for me, like, he's there to prove himself, innit? Not that he has anything to prove, because he's already shown Real Madrid and the world what he can do. But I think his desire to remain at Real Madrid, I think it might endear him to the fans, because they have not taken to him since he's gone there, like especially since Ronaldo's left, because he's supposed to take the mantle.
No, but they're very happy. Look, they were booing Cristiano. They're very happy.
Yeah,
I
know. Hardcore.
Very hardcore.
But if the reports are true that he hasn't really integrated, he hasn't learned the language, for example, he doesn't go to team bonding sessions and stuff like that, then you can understand why the fans are turning on, because it's like, you just here for the paycheck, or do you actually want to be a Madrid?
I hear what you're saying, but when he's done what he's done in those big finals, again, you got to say, you know what? It's clearly, whatever you're doing clearly works for you,
Yeah.
Everyone can't be the same. Everyone can't sit at the same dinner table and go out to the club. Some people just like to be alone. Anthony Marshall was one of the
He
friends.
sees it as a job. Like, I don't come here to make friends. I come here to do my job and then go home.
Correct. So shout out to Los Colchoneros because we always speak of all teams. Atletico Madrid. As we stand, they are 5 points clear at the top. It's early, it's only 3 games, but they are 5 points clear. They're the only team with a 100% record in La Liga. João Felix has scored his first goal for Atletico Madrid.
Can I just say, remember we did the preview, and I said I think Atletico Madrid could be the team to watch. I think they could go ahead and beat Barcelona and Real Madrid to the title.
I said they wouldn't.
Yeah, can you remember that?
Okay.
It's there.
Okay, so
I would love it.
Devil knows. Volume 42.
Do you believe? Because you know, like Messi, when Messi comes with the start bowling, but do you think there is a chance with this new look Atletico that they can actually win La Liga? And speaking of which, I know that you're waiting for Atletico Barcelona. They've won this thing 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah,
so
I know.
that's the maths there is pretty good. 80%, I think. Or, yeah.
Bit of a joke league, isn't it? I mean, I don't know why we've been talking about it. We might as well talk about Ligue 1 if we're talking these one-team leagues that
Uber eats Ligue 1.
with teams that can't win.
Okay, no. So do you still believe that Atletico can win the La Liga this year?
I think they can. I mean, obviously,
Even with Messi to come back?
well, it depends on how far deficit they are by the time he comes back.
When is he coming
Do you know
back?
what I mean?
What's wrong with him?
Maybe just don't. Maybe just like, you know what? I need a break. I'm just gonna chill for a
Maybe
bit.
because they
he
didn't
does
get
what he
Neymar
wants.
and everything.
Do you know what I mean? He does what he wants. Maybe he just wants to spend time with his son. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I think, yeah, Atletico Madrid, I think that I don't see a reason why they can't at least maintain a title challenge and get close. It will probably come down to the big games against... If they keep beating the smaller sides, then all they've got to really worry about is the games against Barcelona and games against Madrid. And that's generally what it comes down to.
I think probably more Barcelona than Madrid because obviously it's a derby for them, but they look better than Real Madrid right now.
Yeah.
They look better than Real Madrid.
But Hazard hasn't yet played, but at the moment I think Atletico look a lot... Like for me, Real Madrid, they're not winning I don't think they can win a trophy this season, personally. So let's...
Champions League, the draw.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, but let's just quickly touch upon it and then we'll end on the Champions League. So, Syria, a few things I want to say Syria.
Oh,
First of all, Juve, Napoli, crazy game.
Yeah.
Do you see anybody beating Juve to the title? For me, I feel that Inter Milan have the best chance. And as much as I still believe Juventus will do 9 in a row, Sarri is coming in, new system. And this is vastly different from the system that both Allegri and Conte had. Inter Milan, under Conte, not much of a departure from what Spalletti did. Who knows what they can get with Lukaku and so forth. I wouldn't put money on Inter against, but do you think that there is a strong case that maybe... Because Napoli looked good and they were very impressive in how they came back. They don't have the mileage to last for the season. Can Inter do it or Juve are going to clean house?
I think Napoli...
And also remember, Chiellini is out for 6-7 months.
I think Napoli will get closer than Inter Milan, personally. I think Napoli are the best equipped side to challenge Juve. I don't think they will, but I think Napoli have a better chance than Inter Milan. I think Inter Milan still have a few question marks in the midfield, in their creativity in that midfield. I think Napoli are probably the closest challengers.
Wasn't it you who told me Lukaku would never lead you to a league title?
No.
Yeah,
that's true. I think he'll never lead to it.
Yeah, so Inter Milan, they rely on Lukaku. Yeah, that was one of the one things you were right about, finally. About time you were right about something. But yeah, I think Juve, I have to put my money on Juve. Have to. You know, Ronaldo, even though we're watching you, Delit. We are watching. Because
there's a pressure
it's all good having the big speech and, you know, playing. Granted, he got into, you know, far in the Champions League, but there was no pressure on them. No pressure. The whole IST could go into every game knowing that they were the underdogs. Now there's pressure. And you conceded 3 goals. Koulibaly did not have a good game either.
No.
Forget the own goal. He got turned. Was it for Higuain's goal? Where I think it was Koulibaly.
You get turned by Higuain, then you got a problem. It would take Higuain 20 minutes to turn around.
But that's why, you see, if that was like, say, Harry Maguire, I know the ages are different. Everyone will be out in force. When you're in the Premier League, all eyes are on the Premier League. The league is so much viewed compared to Serie A, where you can get away. No one's mentioned it. Hardly anyone mentioned the fact that De Ligt had a poor game. and he hasn't been great since he's been there. But I'm not going to get onto him like that, innit? He's 20.
19, new country,
Yeah,
new,
19,
you know, so it's going to take a while.
So obviously, before we just go to the Champions League, Dortmund lost to a team called Union Berlin. I'm done with Dortmund. I think so. That's all I want to say.
But Bayern
drew, but then they won at the weekend 6-1.
Yeah.
And Lewandowski, I think, has got a goal every 45 minutes at the moment. This is ridiculous.
Bundesliga merchants.
Yeah.
Champions League. So the draw of the Champions League and the Europa League, where we're being made. Am I United really in Group L?
I know. I couldn't. What are the odds? What are the odds?
That's messed up. That's really messed up. So Champions League they draw. Some very, very, very entertaining games. Some very entertaining games. I mean, especially. I mean, we now have PSG, Real Madrid. We have Barcelona, Dortmund, Liverpool, Napoli, Juventus, Atletico Madrid.
Barca, Dortmund, Inter.
Yeah.
I remember.
Inter in the same.
Oh yeah, in the same group.
Tottenham, Bayern.
So, do you see any team like? I remember that time when Atletico won the Europa League and they dropped down to the Champions League. Do you see any of those big teams potentially screwing up and ending up in the Europa
Tottenham.
League?
I don't know.
It's feasible.
But hopefully
It's
Tottenham.
feasible.
No.
Is it Bayern?
Tottenham's
Who
group.
is
I don't know who the rest of them.
No. No, they'll get through.
Yeah, but the way
I
they
don't think it's. They got Belgrade.
But the way
Star.
that they're playing right now, the way they're playing, it doesn't. It shouldn't fill me or any. I'm not Spurs fan, but any Spurs fan with any confidence because they're not playing very well. So they're gonna have to up their game.
Yeah, no. For me, I think
Inter could drop in or Dortmund. Inter or Dortmund could drop in behind the bar.
I've got a funny feeling. Even if I said, if Dortmund get through the group, I think they could go far. But Dortmund could very easily drop into the Europa League and then win the Europa League.
They are a bit. You never really know where you're going to
erratic. And also Inter Milan are the kind of team that would be like Barcelona will do that. Although that's why we say like if let's say Messi isn't fully fit for that game. See if Messi isn't fully fit, I think Dortmund and Inter could get ahead of Barcelona. But I think that with Messi being there, they'll get near maximum points. But Man City, again, do you think that it's actually a bad thing that they keep getting easy groups because they find it so easy? So by the time that because they're not battle tested, because Liverpool they only got through that group on the last day. Tottenham they only go through the group on the last day, and they both end up in the final. So
but the Man United always had easy groups. Always throughout the history of Champions League, when Man United were in it.
Be careful because 999 we had Barca.
Yeah.
And Bayern.
Yeah, and then
in the group.
And what happened? You went and won the thing. You know what I'm saying? So you might have a
twice with both of them.
You might have a point because throughout the history, I always remember Man United and to a lesser extent Chelsea getting easy groups. So this Man City thing doesn't surprise me. Maybe it's just a Manchester thing. I don't know. Man City always getting easy groups. It always happens. Even Chelsea's group ain't even that hard.
I mean, if Chelsea were good,
no.
Then it would be
Chelsea,
Valencia,
it's Lille. It's at Lille.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's because Chelsea. If Man City were in that group, nobody was that nice.
But when you look at it, Valencia really are a Europa League side.
Yes.
Lille are a Europa League side.
Yes.
That's not a Champions League group, is it? It's a Europa League group.
But because of where Chelsea are,
Europa League.
It's basically that's the only group where all four teams can go through that group. So any favourites?
I was gonna say in terms of Man City, I wouldn't even make much of it because when they first came in the in the Champions League, and obviously they were like third seeded, they were drawing Barca, Bayern, all those Dortmund, and they couldn't get out of their group, and it's only because now obviously they're winning on the competition that they're top seeds. But yeah, it's a bit dodgy how do they avoid Real Madrid and Dortmund and even Napoli?
No. But can I just say one thing? And I will keep saying this all throughout the Champions League season. We've seen City's squad. That's arguably the strongest squad in Europe.
Yes.
If Pep doesn't win a Champions League with Man City, can we induct this guy into the Brick Academy and say that he's a failure? Let's do it. Please, let's stop.
A failure where? In football
Europe.
In general?
For Man City.
Oh, for Man City. Yeah, for Man City, I would
Yes, failure, yes.
I would say he flopped.
Yes.
If he wins 3 years again, that's 3 years.
Yeah, he's not a failure, but he flopped.
But having said that, the injury to Laporte could be massive
Huge.
for Man City.
No
That
comment.
injury actually made me think, well, I think Liverpool might actually be favourites now for the league.
Well, I cleared it.
Because
Let's Liverpool to lose now.
Yeah, because Laporte going
come on.
down, if he's
But
out
come
for a
on,
long
City
time,
just have
which
to
it
hold
looks
the ball. City will just keep holding the ball. Remember when they had Mascherano in defence for the 2011 Champions League final? Oh my gosh, Mascherano's in defence. He just
Yeah,
kept...
but Mascherano is an exceptional player.
But one game is
High
fine.
football IQ.
One game is fine.
Yeah.
6 months.
It looks
is a
like
completely
Fernandinho's
different
going
thing.
to go in there. Who they got?
Well, Stones is injured, so Stones
yeah,
will
so
come back.
Otamendi and
Stones-
Fernandinho.
So,
I think once Stones is fit,
so who do you say are our front runners then? Are we saying Liverpool?
Champions League?
Yeah, Liverpool, Man
Liverpool,
City.
Juve.
Don't you dare say PSG. Don't you dare say PSG.
Liverpool.
I'd say Liverpool and Juve are my front runners.
Well, for me, yeah, I would agree. For the top two, Liverpool, Juve. Then I have to say
Don't say
Man
PSG.
City and
Don't say PSG.
wherever Neymar ends up. Remember I said that? And Neymar still at PSG,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
So Neymar, Icardi, and
I've
Mbappe.
got,
Neymar
I've
doesn't
got a
give you-
feeling that Bayern might have something to say. This
Devil
season as well.
don't. Devil don't.
This is
Perisic.
feeling. This
King
is-
of the Coman. Gnabry.
What's wrong with
Coutinho.
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 Banana.
You need his goal in the 93rd minute. He's going to shoot from 40 yards.
Banana.
This is the year of Mbappe.
So
this is the year of
let's
Mbappe.
talk about now the Europa League now.
Yes, the true.
Arsenal's group is a bit tricky.
It is
It's
a
a
bit
bit
tricky.
tricky.
I'm not
Like,
happy with that.
like United's group is thinking, but looking at it right now, I think there are some very FC Porto are in the Europa League
Oh yeah, are they in the Europa League?
because they messed up.
Oh,
they
yes.
they lost
They
their
lost
Champions League game.
Mm.
So I believe that FC Porto are probably the strongest team. I think the favourites are Arsenal, FC Porto, Sevilla, and then whoever drops. Because I believe
Whoever drops
no,
out of the
no,
Champions
listen,
League, yeah.
a really big team will drop down for the Champions League. But I think as of right now, I think those three. So since you're both here, how well do you think Arsenal can do? How well do you think United can do in the Europa League?
We're winning it.
And also, do you think that they should? Do you think what should be much more of a priority, winning this Europa League or focusing on getting top four?
See, the way that it works in Europa League is you get through the groups, and then you analyse where you are in the league.
Yeah.
And then it's as you get further through the competition, if your league form goes like this, then you think, we need to win this competition. You don't go into the competition thinking we're going to just forget about the league. Europa League, the group stages, you should just be able to field some youngsters, play some players that aren't getting minutes, get through that. When you get to the knockout stage, who do I get? Oh, Dudelange. Reserves. Do you know what I mean? That's how it works.
That's my team.
Well,
I'm putting
didn't they
cash.
draw in Milan last
Dudelange. I think they're from Luxembourg.
Luxembourg, yeah. They drew in Milan last season.
Dudelange. They're my team. Dudelange. 10 cop on those boys.
I agree. And the problem with our draw is not the quality of our position, it's the distance we have to travel.
Yeah.
So I'm begging we play the reserves and the youngsters, because if we're having Pogba travel to Kazakhstan on a Thursday and Liverpool, Anfield on a Sunday, problems.
Yeah.
Like, for me, we're not getting top four anyway. I said at the beginning of the season, nothing at the start of the season has suggested, we've just played mid-table sides,
Yeah.
Chelsea,
Okay.
Wolves, etc., etc. So, for me, nothing's said, proved to me that we're going to get top four.
So you're saying put all the eggs in the Europa
No,
League basket?
because the Premier League is your bread and butter. You can't. You play 30 games. You can't say, all right, we'll play the reserves in the Premier League.
No. You just said that you have no chance of getting to the top four.
Yes.
You have no chance of getting to the top four. Go on with
So
your
does that mean
and you go to the
does it get
Champions
relegated?
League.
Does it get relegated?
Bro, within reason.
What the point I'm making?
Europa League, you
It's
get
6
through the
games.
groups.
Come 10th. Win the Europa League.
If we do that, I will take it. But when you're sitting in 10th and you're behind in the first leg of a semi-final Europa League, you don't know if you're going to win it or not, innit? You can't.
Well, you better win it
we
because
have
you're
to. We have
still
to.
10th.
We have
So-
to win it. Like, we've got no. If we want to get Champions League next year, we have to win it. Now, do I think we're going to win it? I don't think we're that far down in terms of the pecking order of favourites, because you might say of the desperation for us to win it. When we were under Jose, I know you can't compare Jose and Solskjaer, but we had to win it. We were 6th. Arsenal, I feel, will be in the top 4, which will take that the necessity to go and win it. But it's a game of football. Chelsea last year finished 3rd and still won
See,
the
but I think
final.
the thing is, Chelsea had a big squad last season, which helped them to win it. Man United, their squad doesn't seem that big in terms of being able to take out certain players.
No, you're right. But I think
I think that's where we might struggle this season, because we got rid of quite a lot of players. We have some very good young players, but are they going to be good enough to get through the Europa League group stages unscathed? That will play into itself as well, because you can't be playing your main man, your main
get knocked
players.
out of the group stage Europa League.
Oh,
That is the L. That is the L.
All right, so guys, look. So last 5 minutes, we'll now be taking questions from the live page. So, Javan, can we take calls or no?
No, not tonight.
No, sorry. Okay. So, put in the questions in live, and we'll be looking for. So while people are just sending in questions, Guendouzi, man, huge.
Yeah,
like, you know what? As when I first saw Sideshow Bob, I was like, who's this dude? That's as slowly seeing him. I was like, okay, maybe this guy is something. He's also, I know what, he's 19?
He's 20 now.
He's 20.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And then
Never played top flight football before.
so basically, this just shows that Didier Deschamps has really been watching him and everything. And like, to get into the French team at 20, I think is damn good. And I think for a 20-year-old it's for me, basically, if it's me, let's say you're doing a 4-3-3, it has to be Torreira, Ceballos, Guendouzi. That should be a standard. Guendouzi should be like a stalwart. And so to be a stalwart in a top team and Arsenal at 20 and get a call up to the French team, I think that's flipping huge. And I think for what France are doing for that midfield, I think Guendouzi could fit in really well.
I think a lot of Arsenal fans last season were singing his praises, and a lot of people outside of the club were like, he doesn't do anything because he wasn't very progressive with the ball. He recycled it well, hardly ever lost it. He was caught out of position sometimes. His defensive discipline was a little bit off, but he was 19 and he'd never played top flight football. So this season I expect him to really take off, and he started the season really well. I think he's understanding his role in the team a little bit more. I agree with you. I would want a midfield three personally of either Torreira, Guendouzi and Ceballos, or Torreira, Guendouzi and Willock or Ozil, depending on who we're playing against. I don't think there's any real reason why Xhaka should be in our first team.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
Trash.
Those elements, so Torreira, Guendouzi and Ceballos, they each have elements which fit together well to make a complete midfield.
Okay. So question here, can Pep ever work under a small or restricted budget? No.
Why would he? Why do I, like,
No, devil, no. Answer the question. He has to, don't try and sidestep. He has a very simple question. Can Pep ever work with a restricted budget? The answer is no. There is no. But why would he? No,
why would he? Okay,
go to Scunthorpe. Go to Scunthorpe and do something.
Right I give you a shopping budget to go Sainsbury's of £300, so you could do your shopping this week, and then next week I offer you £20. You're gonna take the £20?
Yes. To prove a point. This dude can't work with a restricted budget.
Why should he?
Uncle Mo gave you a CL with FC Porto. Who is Inter? What the hell do they have? Give you another CL. Until Pep wins something with Scunthorpe or FC Porto,
the Inter Milan thing, we talk about that as well, because there was a very good team there when Mancini left. It wasn't like he built that team.
Did he have Messi in the team? Did he have Iniesta? Did he have Xavi? Did he have Henry?
So he had bricks. He had bricks at Inter Milan.
Did he have Messi in the team?
He had bricks at Inter Milan.
He didn't have bricks.
Exactly.
But
so
who did he have at FC Porto? Deco.
He had some very good players, but no, he did. That's one. I'm not taking away his accomplishment with Inter because it was a massive accomplishment.
Huge.
But the one at Porto is a massive, massive accomplishment. I'll never ever say anything against that. The Inter Milan thing, he had players there already. He had a very, very good team there, and he took them to that next level. So yeah, I'll give him that. But Chelsea, he spent a lot of money at Chelsea, and he won things at Chelsea. He tried to do the same thing at Real Madrid. Tried to do the same thing at Man United until they pulled the plug on the project. So, for me, saying Pep should do it at small, why? Why? His first job in management was Barcelona because he worked at the academy, he worked his way up through that academy, got the main job, and smashed it. Why is he going to go down? Why is he going to go backwards?
I got a good question. That's two good ones. One from Anakin Skywalker. Neeks, why are you such a legend?
That's not a question.
Wait, why are you such a legend?
Because he gets to shape up every day.
I am your father. I don't think that's the right reference.
Egotistical.
No. Then we got a good question from one of the moderators, Harry Truman. Thoughts on Richarlison's potential?
Ooh.
That's a good question because I like Richarlison a lot. I like him.
I think Everton have a really good player there.
They do.
Like for me, it's like
Brazil have a good player. I saw him
good
play.
player, but not an amazing player. Like
I think
he's going to be.
He's 21.
I know.
He's
So
young.
I think it was his debut against. I can't remember who it was, but it was at the Emirates. They played last season for Brazil, and he came off the bench and he was electric. He's so. I think he's got so much talent.
Especially
and
for
the
his
2 goals
size
he
as well,
scored on the weekend. they're good goals. I think
Yeah.
one was a header, wasn't it?
Mm.
And it's like
Big guy.
you think someone who's moves as quick as he does, and it's usually he's shooting more than anything to get in that position. And it's a good header.
But what's
Get
his
ahead of
ceiling
the
now? What do you think his ceiling could be? Tier 1, upper tier 2, world, top 3 in the world, top 5?
No,
No, I don't think he's going to go that far.
Not that far.
No,
but
he-
I can see him playing in the Champions League.
Mm.
100%, I can see him playing.
Oh, for like a...
Not for Everton.
No, you're not Everton. So
Everton.
a bigger club than Everton.
Okay, alright. So is Zlatan the best 38-year-old of all time? Actually, Giggs was...
I'm not about I was just about to say
So it was
Giggs, I don't know.
39 or
Yeah, but
or
Giggs
40.
wasn't playing at such a high level at 38, 39.
He played in the
Damn
central
good,
midfield for
man.
No, he
United,
was,
and
he
he was
was.
doing
Giggs
bits.
But I don't
man.
think he was playing at that
What,
high.
MLS?
No, don't get me wrong.
There we go.
Don't get me wrong.
Like case
But I don't
closed.
think-
Case closed. Giggs was still in the Premier League at 39.
No, but Giggs was being a passenger for a long time when he got to around these ages.
A passenger. He adapted his game.
He was
Bro.
a passenger, bro.
Bro, like...
He was a passenger.
I remember seeing watching games in the Premier League and I say, wait a minute.
And the Champions League
This
played
guy
against
is
Chelsea
39.
one time, and he was pinging the ball. It was his ball to Van Persie against West Ham.
the
Beautiful
volley.
on the top. No, wasn't the volley. I think he took it down first time.
Nah, yeah, Giggs.
And just slotted in the
Giggs.
last minute
No,
equaliser or something
no,
like
He
that.
was a
Giggs.
passenger for
But was that as a beast?
How many goals will Moise Kean get? I'm thinking maybe 11.
I don't know, because
11 or...
Everton is such a strange team.
Yeah.
You can't predict. Like, one week they look brilliant, you think, right, these lot could really push for like top 6. And then the next week they get beat 2-0 at Watford. And it looked like they didn't have a chance in hell in the game. It's just... it's Marco Silva. Something about Marco Silva don't sit right with. I don't know if he's
No,
that
no,
good
no,
a
no,
manager,
no.
man.
But they play some good football. Alright, Sancho or Callum Hudson-Odoi, who will have a better career?
Ah, these Callum Hudson-Odoi guys, man, they get my nerves. Let him play football.
I know!
He's played 6 games.
What
in
am I
his
judging
career.
it on? What am I actually
What has he
judging it on?
done?
And also look, even from a complicated Chelsea fan here, Sancho is that dude. Like Sancho is one of my favorite players to watch. Like I think, let's have Hudson-Odoi have like a season,
Of course.
a full season play. Sancho, you can say, oh, it's the Bundesliga. It doesn't matter. Sancho has had a season where he has been completely exceptional. So as of right now, I would say, for me, I think Sancho is at the forefront of the new generation because he's with the João Felix and all the things. So I think for me, I'd say Sancho is probably that dude, man.
Jan Van says, why is Devo a genius?
That's not the question.
Street genius, man.
That's not the question.
Because
How come? Wait, how come I don't get any of this
Because
good
you
comments?
ramble nonsense.
Whatever. If Neymar wins the Champions League, could he win the Ballon d'Or?
Yes, because his marketability. A lot of to do with these things are marketability. Like I agree. Listen, Ronaldo is probably, I say probably, it's probably not even probable. He's my favorite player in the world right now, but he shouldn't have been in the top 3 for the UEFA awards.
Yeah.
He's also top 3 in the FIFA award that's come out today. It's the same top 3: Messi, Van Dijk, and Ronaldo. He shouldn't be.
Shout
But-
out Van Dijk as well.
yeah, but he is marketable, and Neymar, he's so marketable that if he was to win a Champions League, 100% he's top 3 Ballon d'Or, and I'll be backing it to win.
Okay, so last one here, and this is so harsh. So why did Nick beat down and slaughter HH on his own channel? No, he did not. And for you that you're now banned from future hangouts, man, you prick. Alright, guys. Remember, guys, in the description box below, join us on the Discord. Click the Discord link and everything. And also for all those guys, I will remember this. After all the years of the content I've given you,
Just
all
had
I've
a
seen
really
are
good, really good question at the end there. Just read that. Renaissance.
Oh no.
It says, why does HH have no hair?
Oh no! That's why you're deep.
I'm just reading out the question. It's there. Just reading it out.
This ends this week's broadcast. If you don't see any more future football dugouts anymore, it's because these two losers are here. And also just actually to address this whole headline thing, I actually go bald, so the headline jokes don't actually work. So that's what I'm saying. Click the link below to join us on the Discord. And maybe, because I probably won't even turn up, but maybe you'll see me here next week. And please send me some nice comments once in a while. Don't only send these two jokers these nice comments. So yeah, I'll see you two pricks next time. Peace out, stay true, and we're out, man.